What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back at it with some more of the Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger connections together of why possibly Chris Watts had a dark being, dark entity inside of him that he mentions. It could be just him himself having a dark demonic side of him that annihilated his family, which it could be a possibility. Is it just him? I think it's just him. But there's things that don't add up when it comes to the whole Nichol Kessinger being in a cult, witchcraft, mystery, whatever have you. I have had some sources sent to me, and they wish to be anonymous, but this is going to kind of blow your mind. And unfortunately, this blog or these posts have gone MIA. But we're going to be taking a look at it right here with you guys watching at home, and we're going to discuss this in the comments below. But first, if you could do me a solid favor, is subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting the whiteboard icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted a video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you guys so very much for the continued love and support that you guys show on this channel every single day. I can't thank you guys enough. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and we'll continue to keep growing. We're trying to get to 50K by Christmas, which it is in 5 days. So I can give one of you guys a Meta Quest 3 virtual reality headset for Christmas, and that's the best time to do it. It's the best time. It is Christmas. So make sure you guys tell your friends, tell your family, and subscribe, since it is easy and it's free. But with that being said, let's get into today's video, and that is obviously the darker side. Again, we're just touching these subjects. We're not stating 100% that these are facts. They're completely 100% real. We don't know. We're just investigating. We're diving into each and every. We've dived into the paranormal. We've dived into the crime, the evidence, the CSI part of it. We're looking at every different thing. Now, looking into this, again, this was sent to me by Anonymous. Well, I know who the person is, but I'm not going to, by the respect of this person, they wish to be anonymous. Now, I've been reading this and like investigating and looking into this all day, but apparently there's a dark being in the barbaric, adventurous dialogue that Ishtar, the god of love, war, and sex, apparently has been worshipped by Nichol in her cult. Now, reading from verbatim, which I can show you guys right here in a second. I'll post it right here. Now, again, I want to reiterate this so much that this is for educational purposes, and I am not in no shape or form stating that this is legit, real, 100% given. I'm just posting it there for you guys to think about. If you guys want to take it off with it, have at it. I want to know your opinions. I want to know what you think at home. The vast majority of people that know this case. I am not, again, an expert. I am not a professional. I'm just giving my 2 cents. I'm looking into this like there's other people out there that do this for fun. I'm not doing this, I wouldn't say for fun to enjoy myself, but I'm looking for the justice, and possibly this may be the reason why this happened. I don't know. But that's why we're using this as an educational purpose. I want to make that very clear. So, continuing. So, starting off the bat, CW is obviously Chris Watts. I'm not sure who KK is down here, but NK is NK. So, reading verbatim, CW clings to Christianity now because what has happened to him is like physically losing his soul. I have lots of more evidence to back this up, including the group book information from the St. Louis Valley, which I looked and is 3 hours away from Denver, Colorado, where Nichol Kessinger, Chris Watts, Jim, Melissa, and others went to St. Louis Valley for a ritual. That's where they were found naked and pretty much hanging out, but at nighttime, things took a different turn. I don't have this channel because this person is not doing this for money, nor am I doing it for money. I'm wanting it for justice. I'm doing this to try and save more children that live in Colorado. Apparently this happens more than you guys know. I'm currently working with a person named Larry. This person and he has all of this and much more. KK was part of NK's cult. They are not Wiccans or pagans / witches. They worship a dark deity called Ishtar from a book of barbaric adventures. Now, Ishtar, the ancient mother goddess, is a worshipped in Rich's temple and a lavish shrine with rituals of blood and sacrifice and organistic frenzy performed before sincerely carved idols of ivory. For those who serve her, Ishtar bestows bountiful harvests and many children in exchange for sacrifices. These voluptuous temples, prostitutes which are found in Ishtar temples, are well known. Okay? Interesting enough. So in digging down into Ishtar, Ishtar was worshipped primarily as the goddess of love, or both love and war. She's technically good and evil, but apparently a lot of it, the time, was evil. She was associated with the aspects of the areas such as the sex, fertility, and political power. However, Ishtar's sphere of influence also extended well beyond her primary roles. She was worshipped as a goddess of thunderstorms, as well as the goddess of food preservation, man, I can't talk today, and storehouse such as granaries. Along with her brother, Ishtar was also received as an arbiter of justice in Mesopotamian society. The main symbol associated with Ishtar were the lion and the 8-pointed or 16-pointed star. The goddess was also associated with the planet Venus, and Venus can be seen in the morning and near the evening. She was sometimes referred to as the goddess of morning and the evening star, which again, some of these people are correlating that because Venus was apparently closer to the Earth the morning of these murders, and it happened in the morning, that somehow that has correlation. Not saying it does, but again, it's uncanny that that is what happened. Now, reading more of it, one of the most well-known myths as well featuring the goddess of Ishtar is centered around the death of her husband, Dumizi Tammuz. Interestingly, there are two versions of his death. In one version, the shepherd's god is killed by bandits, and Ishtar referred to as Anna is these texts bitterly mourns his passing. But in a different version, Ishtar descends into the underworld and is killed by her sister Ershikiel. However, Ishtar orchestrates her resurrection by offering her husband's death as a sacrifice in place so that she can return to the world of the living. Technically, people are also correlating that NK had sacrificed Chris, threw him to the wolves, and got him to forcibly state he was guilty for everything besides her. Again, this is all speculation. This is nowhere, again, 100% whatever have you, but I'm just throwing it out to you guys as well. Depictions of Ishtar in the Mesopotamian records reveal a complex deity and dark deity that was dualistic, sometimes even contradictory of herself in nature. As the goddess of fertility, sex, and love, and war, Ishtar's sphere of influence encompassed the opposing forces of life and death, more towards death. Mesopotamian texts describe her as delighting but also dark in making war against others as much as she did in making love. Weird, because Nichol Kessinger had addiction to sex. Just throwing that out there. As the Mesopotamian goddess of the thunderstorm, she is also associated with the aspects of the natural environment which have been a threat to the crops, and with desert lands, she would forcibly put sand in locations that should not be located. Where's Colorado? Where's the Sand Valley or San Luis Valley? Sand. Where was also Shannon buried? Just throwing that out there. Okay. However, this did not prevent the Mesopotamians from also associating Ishtar with storehouses and the preservation, holy cow, of food. In some myths, goddess Ishtar is portrayed as a considerate lover who weeps for the death of her consorted husband, and she was widely worshipped in Mesopotamian society as the administrator of justice. However, other narratives have portrayed her as evil and compelling of the opposite of light. They described her as a petty deity who eventually destroyed all of her lovers and often acted in ways appearing to contradict her role as a divine protector of justice. She was the opposite of justice. Examples include sending the bull of heaven to kill Gilgamesh for refusing to marry her, stealing divine powers from the Mesopotamian gods, and allowing her lover, Dum Yuzi, to be trapped in the underworld so that she could live forever free. I'm not gonna lie, this definitely sounds very correlated. Again, I'm not stating anyway, in any shape or form, is this 100% fact. These conflicting portrayals of the goddess Ishtar seem to be integrated into the overall person presenting or receiving the information. Her as an extremely complex Mesopotamian deity that assumes a variety of different roles. Correspondingly, the contrast of Ishtar's persona do not appear to be distracted from her importance as a Mesopotamian deity. Instead, many scholars suggest that Ishtar's dualistic nature may have contributed to her significance. The contradictions in the goddess role and character allowing her to assume a type of liminal in-between positions. As a result, her sphere of divine influence could include aspects of Mesopotamian life that have sometimes unrelated or even oppositional to each other. This further demonstrates by the fact that she was worshipped as a goddess of the transition between life and death due to her ability to come back from the underworld after she had died. Now, I'm not going to say anything more about this. I've looked into more of this deity. People don't believe that she was more good or evil, but they did state, unfortunately, that she was more evil because she destroyed a lot of her lovers and pretty much thought of and had self-interest of herself, which sounds like NK. Now, again, please take with what you have heard and comment down below of your free will and let me know as well what you guys think. Again, there are going to be people watching my videos that think I'm completely bat crazy when I'm not the one believing in this. I'm just bringing this information to you guys to take with what you will. Now, again, I'm not going to be spouting off who gave me this information, but they wanted to bring this to light because they are tired of seeing people being sacrificed, children, for deities that may or may not exist. For myself, I believe in one God. You may believe in a different. You may be atheist. That is okay. That's all what you guys want. I'm not pushing religion, politics, or anything on anybody. I just, again, I'm bringing it to your attention. Now, we're watching from the YouTube channel Crime Catalyst. Now, I've watched a couple of her things before. She does talk again about the dark things surrounding Chris Watts that, again, have very much correlation of not witchcraft, but worshiping a dark deity, which is a god, in the form of Ishtar. Now let's take a look at this YouTube channel video. Please go over to give her some love because she did this 2 years ago. So again, I understand that there's people out there that keep saying this is dead, this is old, this is get over it. I'm not doing that. I bring it for people that still don't know of this case. There's thousands of people that still don't know about the Chris Watts murders. And eventually some people, maybe all, will finally find out this and help me out with all the hundreds and thousands of YouTubers, not including myself, that are trying to figure this out. So with that being said, take a look at this video of dark things that surround Chris Watts. Take a look. True crime. The Chris Watts case. This, I knew when I saw this guy on this interview, I knew he did it. I knew it. I remember when I was sitting at my computer. I'm telling you right now, there's more information coming at you that I've been finding out, and it's gonna get heated. Content of the video: dark magic things, magic awakening.
Police in Colorado say they have found 2 bodies they believe are the daughters of Christopher and Shanann Watts. Christopher Watts reportedly confessed Thursday to killing his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. Watts appeared in court hours after police found his wife's body at an oil field where he works. Police said the other 2 bodies were found nearby. Watts could face up to 3 counts of first-degree murder.
He going away for life.
Watts had little to say in a Colorado courtroom this afternoon.
And cold-blooded, these killings seemed to jar everyone that they touched. Even the judge called it as vicious and inhumane as any case he has ever handled. And it was a dark side of Christopher Watts that seemed to come out of nowhere.
And it was a dark side of Christopher Watts that seemed to come out of nowhere. That seemed to come out of nowhere.
Come out of nowhere.
Is Chris Watts just a typical family annihilator? 90% of family annihilators are males between the ages of 30 and 40 years old.
It scares me because I'm 35.
With no criminal record.
No criminal
They are
record.
perceived by neighbors, friends, and family to be dedicated fathers and loyal husbands. People who have studied these types of killers have divided them into 4 categories. Self-righteous killers, where the father blames the mother for relationship issues.
Which he did.
His main goal is to cause pain and suffering to their partners, and most likely will use the children in doing so. His killings are always planned out for a very long time, never spontaneous. Disappointed killers. He believes he was let down by those around him, mostly his children and spouse. He kills the entire family in order to keep his reputation. Anomic killers. He considers his family an extension of his economic success. When the status starts to break down, his family no longer serves this function, and he will kill them all. Paranoid killers. The father believes his family is in danger and needs to be protected.
Which he said once.
He kills the family in order to protect them from an outside threat. The psychological profile of a family annihilator is very complex. It is very different than the typical profile of serial killers and mass murderers. Does Chris Watts fit this type of killer? In my opinion, from what I've learned so far, he does. But many people disagree. Each person has their own theories to help them better understand what happened in this case. Is Chris Watts a family annihilator?
Yes, he is.
Demon possessed? Or something else?
Who knows? That's why we do these things, to learn and understand.
In this video, we are going to explore the dark things surrounding the Chris Watts case.
And there's many dark things. Warning.
I understand this is a topic not everyone is interested in. If this makes you uncomfortable or scared, please do not continue watching. I also want to say that what I will be discussing in this video does not reflect my views or beliefs. I actually had no knowledge of any of these things without doing a lot of research first. We know there were some strange things about Chris Watts and his mistress NK's relationship. Although there is speculation that they knew each other longer, the evidence shows they were only in a relationship for about 6 weeks. How could they have fallen so deeply in love in such a short amount of time? We know NK was into crystals. She collected them, and according to Chris, she never left home without them.
She had them in her purse.
Crystals aren't necessarily evil.
True.
They can be used for healing and to ease stress. However, some believe crystals can possess magical powers and can harness the power of nature. They use crystals to manifest the things in life they desire. It has been said that a person doesn't need any special skills or talent. You simply need to understand which crystals to use and follow the right process to manifest what you want. Did NK, being a geologist and collecting crystals, have this knowledge? Did she use her crystals to perform some kind of a magical ritual? Possibly to make Chris turn away from his wife and fall deeply in love with her? We know she also loved wildflowers, particularly sunflowers. Sunflowers have a long history with spells and witchcraft. The sunflower is considered a flower of loyalty because day after day it follows the sun. It is also often associated with fertility. In order to bring about conception, people,
which is also Ishtar,
will eat sunflower seeds or take a ritual bath with sunflower petals. Chris talks about NK giving him a drink every night when he stayed at her apartment. He said she called it a spiritual cleansing drink and it tasted like a tea. He never questioned what was in it, but noticed she never drank it. It was only given to him.
Weird.
Flower petals, herbs, and many other ingredients can be used to make a spiritual awakening cleanse. This is used as a way to cleanse negative energy or emotions around you. It can be used to open a person's third eye. It is associated with wisdom and intuition and is located in the pineal gland, which philosophers believe is the seat of the soul. It is opened in order to help someone identify underlying patterns in their life and make sense of their own potential.
I don't want to open my third eye.
Something like this could be dangerous for someone like Chris Watts, who doesn't ever express his feelings or emotions and had resisted them his whole life. He most likely was experiencing a very stressful emotional time given his circumstances. During the opening of the third eye, a person can experience what is called a Kundalini awakening. This awakening can be performed in many different ways and methods, but yoga is one of the main causes that can trigger a Kundalini awakening. NK owned a yoga studio called Satya. Satya means truth, but in Latin it means Satan. 3 days after Chris's confession, NK closed her secret business.
I know about that.
NK had a friend that she was in business with that taught her how to do an awakening procedure. If this procedure isn't done correctly or the person is unaware or not prepared, it can be very dangerous. It can feel like a psychotic break with reality.
Which he said
it should only be practiced under the guidance of a trusted and knowledgeable teacher. The sudden shift in perception can be extremely overwhelming if the person is not prepared. This process should never be rushed. There are a wide range of side effects. Vivid dreams and nightmares.
He said that.
We know Chris mentions having reoccurring dreams before the murders. Scary, accurate intuition. Chris says many times in his letters, I didn't want to kill my family, but I knew it was going to happen. Becoming fearless. Chris said he could have killed anyone in front of him that day and felt justified for doing it. astral projection, which means it feels like a part of you leaves your body and travels elsewhere. Chris has said he felt like someone else was holding his hands around Shanann's neck, and he didn't understand why he couldn't just let go. Last, chaotic and erratic behavior. Did NK perform this procedure on Chris Watts?
Who knows?
Or could Chris have experienced it spontaneously due to some changes that were going on in his life at the time?
It's weirdly a coincidence. I'm just saying. I'm not believing it. I'm just saying.
Some magical rituals are performed under the light of a new moon. Every new moon brings with it a fresh start. So a ritual done under a new moon will harness energy to ensure intentions will manifest. It is good for bringing in a new love. A new moon is hidden under a shadow, and spellcasters will do spells for something hidden. On Saturday, August 11th, 2018, a little more than 24 hours before the murders, there was a new moon.
And Venus was the closest, apparently.
On the same day, there was also a partial solar eclipse. A new moon spell with a partial eclipse would bring in a fast-moving relationship and a swift transformation. Something that would normally take a long time to manifest would happen unnaturally fast. Could this explain why a man would kill his entire family to be with a mistress he only dated for about 6 weeks?
Could possibly be. Who knows?
In Discovery, we see that Chris Watts Googled the Paricutin Volcano on Sunday, August.
That's another thing we're going to look into, is everything that Chris Watts Googled, and holy crap, it gets weird.
12th, just hours before the murders. This volcano is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It grew unnaturally fast from a farmer's field in Mexico. Its sudden appearance shocked the townspeople there. The farmland became a mountain with lava bowling out of it. It destroyed 5 nearby towns. No one was killed by the lava when the Paricutin volcano erupted, but 3 people were killed by the lightning that was generated by the volcanic rock. Spellcasters worship this volcano like a god in order to tap into its power.
Which apparently, again, that's where Ishtar had descended into the underworld.
When Shanann was in Arizona, her flight was canceled because of a storm. The electrical power went out at the restaurant where Shanann and her friends were having dinner. She texted Chris and unknowingly listed the 4 natural elements. She said there is a really bad dust storm, rain, thunder, and lightning. Dust equals earth, storm equals air, lightning equals fire, and rain equals water. Sunday evening, again hours before the murders, Chris Watts Googled the Dead Sea Scrolls. These passages have been known to contain magic that can ward off evil influences and bring good luck. They offer protection for someone who may be in danger.
Because he thought he was overtaken by the dark things that possibly they were worshipping in the cult.
Did NK have the knowledge to access the Earth's rocks and minerals and use it to harness power from the Paricutin volcano? Her magic spell to ensure her intention would manifest could have overpowered the warnings and protection angels sent to save this family. Because Chris Watts, in the end, became like a fiery volcano, unleashing rage that he had never felt before.
So this is part 1 of more of the dark things. Now, I, again, reiterate very excessively, I am not stating this is 100% true, okay? Because there's people out there that apparently think that I'm 100% paranoid or going off my high-end horse, stating that everything I say is 100% true. I think 100% true that Nichol was involved. I'll say that. But this part, I have no idea. I need you guys to tell me what you guys think about this. Not doing witchcraft, but possibly worshiping the goddess of war, sex, fertility, and love, Ishtar. What do you guys think? Is it witchcraft? Is it worshiping this deity, this dark being? I would really love to hear you guys' thoughts. Again, I thank you guys for watching. Please take care, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on. Keep those comments coming, and all the stuff that you guys want me to watch. I love seeing what you guys have put out there and want me to see, and we'll see you guys in the next one. So keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.